This program is brought to you by Železiarne Podbrezová.
Today we have the opening of an exhibition which is the culmination of the so-called Ceramic Symposium. This is an important event whose historical roots genuinely go back to 1989, which is when the very first edition took place. The fundamental foundation was that Kalinovo possesses abundant reserves of truly excellent clay, a specific type of earthy material that is especially popular among various artists. At that time, Žiaromat provided its facilities for the first time, including production spaces, mixed the clay that we mined from our own quarry, created the material, and offered it to artists for free. The artists then spent almost a month in our facilities, creating works of art. These works, since they are all made from fire clay, the same material we use to produce our refractory products, were fired in our kiln at 180 degrees Celsius. Results like these have been produced for 37 years now as part of the Ceramic Symposium.
We had a particularly rich year in terms of international participants. 3 out of 4 were from abroad. So there were 2 male participants from Poland, 1 female participant from Peru who now lives in France, and 1 Slovak participant who has already attended our symposium several times.
This is my 6th time at the symposium, so for me, whenever I see that chimney in Kalinovo, it feels like coming home. Everywhere there's a big chimney, there's a big furnace. So I was really happy to be able to come and create in these conditions, and this year I was able to invite colleagues from abroad. The people I created with, I had already worked with them before. So the colleague from France, Sandra Chachapoyas, I met her last year in Poland, and with Krzysztof Rozpondek we attended a symposium in this region 13 years ago.
Over the many years, talented artists have come from more than 20 diverse countries, spanning across 4 vast continents, showcasing their incredible work and unique perspectives. They truly come from all over the world. There is always a group that agrees to spend those 4 weeks at Žiaromat, motivating and inspiring each other, culminating in an exhibition like this. So, more or less, they find each other through networking, organize themselves, we provide them with the space, and that's how it works.
The greatest relaxation during the entire symposium is working in that specific place that the factory sets aside for us. They bring us about half a ton of clay, and basically from 8 in the morning until 4 in the afternoon, we can talk and create from the material they provide us with, practically endlessly, you could say.
Our participants are a typical group in that they also collect various small natural objects from around the factory grounds, which they use in their creations. They draw inspiration, for example, from factory buildings, roofs, chimneys, and things like that, but they also often use the raw materials produced by Žiaromat.
This factory environment is exceptional in that the people there are very warm-hearted and hardworking, so we had very good conditions. From the welcome by the director to the cooperation with the people who build the kilns, who lay the bricks in the kilns, to those who transport the products or our creations to the warehouses. It should be said that they are very helpful, and for them our presence in the factory is a kind of refreshment. They feel like they have a month of an extraordinary environment.
The ceramic artists actually started their residency on July 7th, and during their creative stay they were very active and created a large number of works. You can't actually see all of them here at the exhibition. There were so many that we simply didn't have space to display them all. They created various reliefs which are displayed on the walls. For example, they drew inspiration directly from the factory production itself. But for example, an interesting feature is that even from the street, we're drawn into the church by a still life made up of 4 of the aforementioned vases, which are shaped like human bodies.
I focused on hand modeling vases. Basically, I made large vases up to 1.5 meters tall, which are meant to represent figures. It's not meant to be a vase for flowers, it's a large figurative piece. I created portraits and I also made a series of lichens because nowadays lichens are very important as indicators of air purity or essentially also of symbiosis, since a lichen is always a symbiosis between algae and fungi.
The Novohrad region is interesting precisely because there are many deposits of different types of clay here, and one of them is the clay that is mined in Kalinovo, which has refractory properties. However, for wheel throwing it is quite rough because it contains various clays that can actually harm your hands. It's possible to injure them and so on, but even that doesn't stop some people from throwing on the wheel with this clay.
I'm very glad that it is extremely popular among artists. Moreover, we can also provide them with firing services outside of the ceramic symposium. So it's quite common for artists to call us and ask if they can bring in their finished works. We are happy to welcome them, put their pieces in the kiln, fire them, and a week later they come to pick up their fired works. In this way, we actually give the clay immortality, you could say.
The clay in this region is exceptional everywhere, and the clay from Kalinovo is special because it has a high Žiaromat content. This means you can quickly build a large figure without it sagging. This means that these binding clays have a high melting point, and the Žiaromat makes the clay very durable for tall structures. Plus, it has a beautiful pale color, whereas most of these high-fired clays tend to be dark or brick-colored. This clay is beautifully pale.
Žiaromat Kalinovo is an integral part of the esteemed Jetpack Group, and the significant ceramic symposium continues to exist and thrive today, largely thanks to the enduring support of Železiarne Podbrezova. Žiaromat Kalinovo was in a very poor economic condition, and Železiarne Podbrezova, a significant industrial entity, successfully saved the struggling company by acquiring it, thereby becoming the sole and complete owner of all its shares in 2004. This crucial acquisition not only significantly extended the operational lifespan of Žiaromat, ensuring its continued existence, but also effectively gave new and vital momentum to the ceramic symposium, fostering its further development and artistic endeavors.